There are many things that job seekers do that don't help them, and this is one of the biggest ones that often is overlooked. Hi, my name is Shelley Piedmont. I'm a former recruiter turned career coach, and I help you thrive and not just survive your job. Many people, when they start their job search, think, I have to update my resume, redo my LinkedIn profile, even work on interviews. And they're all important for a job search. But one of the most important things that often gets overlooked is doing a self-assessment. People start a job search often without thinking about what is right for them in their next job. And that is a huge mistake to not do. Stephen Covey, in his 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, had his habit number 2 be start with the end in mind. And that is really important for job search. You need to understand what you want, what is going to make you happy, what is going to allow you to thrive. You need to spend some time thinking about all of that before you ever update a resume or practice answering interview questions. Why? You want to do this because that is going to help you make great decisions that will get you closer to having a job where you can thrive. And doesn't everybody want that? Nobody wants to be in a job that is terrible, that doesn't fit, that is not using your skills, that makes you dread Sunday nights because you realize, oh my God, I have to go to that job on Monday. That's not helpful. So I want you to think about what you really want before you start your job search. And many people think, well, I will figure it out as I go through the process to see different jobs, and I'll figure out what kind of works for me and what kind of doesn't work for me. And that rarely works, to be quite honest, because employers are there to sell you their opportunities. And oftentimes they will sell you on the great things, and they neglect to tell you about the less than great things of their job. And that less than great things often are the things that sabotage us, that make us really struggle in those roles. So you should know what you want beforehand so that you know the roles that will fit what you want, and that you can ask questions in the interview process to further assess, further than that job description, whether the job will meet what is important to you. That is how you get a career that thrives, that you find opportunities that meet your goals. It will help you to really enjoy and be engaged in the work. So this is really important. And so I want to spend some time today talking about how you develop this self-awareness and what should you be thinking about. So I'm a big proponent of all job seekers putting together a needs and wants list. The needs are going to be those things that are so important to you that you absolutely must have in a job. And if it is not there, you will turn down that job because it will not work for you. That's really critical information. Now, the wants part is the things that, boy, it would be really nice if the job had that. I would really enjoy that. But if it didn't, and I had all my needs fulfilled, I would still be happy in this job. I would still thrive. So there is a difference, and you need to be aware of what those are so that you can key in on making sure that your next opportunity is going to have all the needs fulfilled. So let's talk about things that you should think about for your needs list. The first one is going to be a little bit broad, but it really is about the organization and its structure. to know if that's going to work for you. So that could be what industry it's in. It could be how big it is. It could be where it is in its history. Is it a startup? Is it a organization that has been around for a long time? Is it global? Is it, multi-unit or multi-facility? Whatever is important to you, it's important that you write those down if they are needs for you, so that you can make sure as you're looking at opportunities that there is alignment. The second thing you're going to look at is your preferred skills. What is it that you want to do? Now, preferred skills should be the things that you enjoy, that energize you, not the things that you can do and maybe do well, but they don't motivate you. They are what we call burnout skills. So you should assess the type of skill use that you will think will be fun, that you know that you will enjoy. So that can be things like budgeting. Maybe that's something that you motivates you. Or maybe it's being creative. Or maybe it is mediating things. Or maybe it is managing logistics. Or maybe it is in a supervisory role and delegating. Whatever it is for you, you want to write it down, and you want to ensure that whatever jobs you're looking for have as part of the duties the use of these skills. The third thing you want to think about are the types of people that you want to work with. So as humans, we have all different personality types. And so that is really important to understand. So this could be, I want to work with people that are smart. I want to work with people that are friendly. I want to work with people that value respect. I want to work with people that are creative. I want to work with people that encourage growth. I could go on and on and on. The important thing is on this list, you should have what is important to you, and not what people tell you should be important, but what you know will work best for you. So that's my number 3. If you enjoy this content, I always appreciate a like and subscribe. So my 4th tip is to look at the type of work that you want to do. We are attracted to some types of work and others we could care less about. So it's good to think about this. So I think of it this way, is maybe I really am engaged in work that involves problem solving. So whatever the title, I want to have work that really involves that. Maybe instead I want to do work that involves researching, that I like to get into finding different information and putting that together. Or maybe I really am interested in work that involves people development, that I have a real knack for that and a love for that. And so I want to be able to develop the people around me in my team. Whatever works for you, write it down, because that's going to be very important for you to determine if a job is going to work for you, because you want it to have in it the things that you are interested in doing. My 5th thing is to understand your strongly held beliefs or your purpose. And does that organization, that job, that manager align with that? So these are really important things, often our values. And when you are in an organization where there's a clash in values, that can be catastrophic. It can just make you feel very dirty, and usually you don't last long. So what can these be? Well, maybe it is an organization that values growth and is always looking to grow itself, but also wants employees to grow. So maybe it might be working with people with disabilities, that you have a passion for that. And so you're looking for organizations that support people with disabilities, or even might be that that is the focus of the work that they do. So this can be very broad. It can have a lot of things in it, but you must consider this as well, because it could be important to whether you can thrive at a job. And my sixth one has to do with compensation and benefits. This is obviously a need. You need to pay your bills, so you need to think about this in terms of what do I need. When I work with clients, I always talk to them about what is the minimum in terms of an hourly rate or salary that you can have when you take a job. Think about that. The minimum is your need. Now, you can have higher for your wants, and that certainly is appropriate, but we need to think about needs. Sometimes needs also include different benefits that are of interest to you, that are important for your lifestyle, that you will need to have in order for you to be able to thrive. So think through all of the compensation, all the different parts of that, and write that down as well. When you do all this and you have your list of needs, and by the way, that list should not be really long. I say maybe 6 or 7 things on that list. Well, why? Mostly I find that a lot of people put stuff on their needs list that are actually a want. Remember, it is something that you absolutely have to have or you will not be happy. And oftentimes when I question my clients, they'll say, oh, that it's really a want, not a need, because I need these other things. So make sure that you have that list. Then this makes your job search a little bit more efficient, because you will only apply for jobs that appear to have what you need. And sometimes you won't know until you get into the interview process, and that's okay, because this also gives you the foundational questions you should be asking in interviews to understand whether this role is right for you. Now, I know this takes a little bit of time, and we're not usually very attuned to ourselves. So I say, find the time, find a quiet place, think about this. The time you spend doing this is so worthwhile, because it helps you make better decisions and helps you find work where you can thrive.